Love is love no matter what gender you define as. Same-sex marriage is just as humane as opposite-sex marriage. Now, marriage has been part of society from the earliest of times. The joining of one man and one woman has been celebrated by many. We are taught to be the perfect husband or wife, or at least the skills it takes to be perfect. And we're taught to love each other through thick and poor and defeat all the battles and hardships that we face in a marriage. Now, same-sex marriage goes through many struggles. Also, religion is a big input on it. Not many people agree with it. And is it known as marriage or civil unions? So basically, so many individuals discriminate the LGBT community because it is not humane or normal. After the Orlando attack, the LGBT community felt distant from others, even though we are all the same and can love whoever we want. Bullying towards LGBT members can prevent self-esteem issues as well, which is not good in the long run. Now, coming out to family members is already hard enough, and therefore society should not create a challenging life for people who are different. It already takes a lot of courage to come out to your family because you are different or because you're not like them, and society should not make it harder for you. Now, knowing that some people are confused about their sexuality does take time to understand how you feel towards others and who you want to be part of, or do you just want to be yourself? Now, defining your sexuality is not the easiest, and a lot of people deny it in the beginning or until they realize who they truly are. As well as the LGBT community usually avoids coming out for a while because of their living situation, so they usually wait until they're out of the house or they're not seen by their family constantly. Now, support groups are offered in schools and colleges because of the bullying and struggling to be accepted, so most people go to those to get help. Now, rejection is a huge part, like when the LGBT community is rejected by God because they are sinning, and because they love someone, they are sinning constantly just because they want to love this one specific person or this one group. Now, homosexuals are not sinning unless they follow through with the actions of going against God, which means involving themselves with another partner. Now, the natural sex partner for a man is a woman, and the natural sex partner for a woman is a man. Now, homosexuality is wrong. They are with whoever, trans are with whoever, bisexuals can be with whoever, and it's not known as different. It's just who they are. And now people believe I was born this way is a lie. No, some people are born this way. They started off trans, they started off gay, they started off pan, they started off all this stuff when they were at a young age or once they got older, and they finally did not deny it when they got older. Now, the church does not believe that I was born this way, quote, because it's just not who they are. They believe that God is testing them, and if they follow through, that means they are disowning God. Now, the church believes that all common behaviors are acceptable, so this means that most people who disagree with homosexuals based on like who they are with or because they're not following God's rules, they just disagree with them constantly, even though they're just with that one person. Now, people believe God is tempting the homosexuals or the trans or the pans or the bis or the whoever. And for those who go against him, aren't Christian or aren't, morally right or morally correct or a good person in the end. Now, however, marriage is not acceptable towards others, and most people believe homosexuals should not be able to get married because of what the church thinks or because certain religions think this and think that. Now, there are such things as civil unions, and they are able to give couples the same rights who are such as same-sex marriage. Like, they can get the same rights, but it's not really marriage. Now, the thing is, civil unions have no social security because they aren't truly married, and not everyone agrees with the gay marriage law, and people want it banned now that it's become a law that you can get married and you can do this if you are part of the LGBT community. Now, civil unions do show recognition when it comes to certain rights, like in marriage or like very similar in marriage, and although it's not the same thing, it's almost there. Now, civil unions are much more rare now in the U.S. than it because they have passed the gay marriage, so it's a lot less common. Now, marriage is very special towards the LGBT community because they can now be official just like the rest of the world. So we're all coming together and being part of something. Now, marriage is now respected by the government thanks to the law that was passed, but it doesn't mean it's respected by the people who are part of a country, who are part of a religion, or any of that. Now, marriage prompts new fairness towards all people except those who agree with gay marriage. Now, we're just trying to make the world fair for the rest of the people. Now, at first, I was surprised about the gay marriage law that passed, and whether you are homosexual, transgender, or heterosexual, marriage should be allowed for the people, and it should not be selective. Whoever you love, you love. You can't change who you love. So that's a big part of what I believe. Now, over the past few years, many people who are part of the LGBT community have come out, and it has been easier for them than it was years ago because people are more accepting now. And hopefully good only comes out of this new law and no more hate towards the LGBT community.